you can start structuring a week. So this is an exercise that I like to do with everyone that I see. So you have light exercise, you have moderate, and you have heavy. And it's good to come up with several types of exercise in each category, because then you can start structuring your weeks. So a light kind of exercise would elicit a 1 or a 2 out of 10 pain response during, immediately after, and the next morning. This kind of activity would elicit a 2 or a 3 out of 10, so sort of that moderate kind of pain response, immediately after, during, and the next morning. And this would be more your 5 out of 10 stronger. So that's a strong kind of pain, moderate, and this is just a little minimal kind of pain response. So yeah, so during, immediately after, the next day, that 5 out of 10. So this takes 3 days to recover, roughly. This takes 2. This you can do daily. So now I wanted to go through a bit of a case study that you could use so that you can better refer and use this for yourself. So a typical patient that I might see might have been battling by themselves with the Achilles tendinopathy for about 3 to 6 months and not getting better. So by that stage, they're probably more in that degenerative stage where it's not, like, they can actually do a little bit of running, and they're not, so day-to-day wise, they're coping half okay. So they generally can do a little bit more than, say, if you just got it. Whereas sometimes when you've got that acute, red, angry Achilles tendinopathy, the first week or two you might have to actually not run. So with this kind of example, so say the middle-aged keen distance runner that's been battling with it for a while, sort of a grumbly Achilles tendon, they can do 3 or so 5K runs a week and seem to cope okay with that 5K run. But I might go through this and sort of try to rate their exercises, and if I've talked to them and they said, oh, look, I could walk 70 minutes, so I walk around the block with my dog 70 minutes, and my pain's a 1 or a 2 out of 10, it's minimal, and the next day it's fine. So a 70-minute walk might be sort of in here. They might also go to the gym and they said, oh, I can do cross-training on the bike, and I can really go hard, and I can do 30 to 60 minutes on the bike, and I hardly feel it, and the next day it pulls up well. So say 60 minutes on the bike, 30 to 60 minutes on the bike. Okay, so there's 2 sort of exercises that you'd put in the light category. Then in the moderate, say they get about a 2 or 3 out of 10 with a 5K run. So say a 30-minute run in 12 mil heel toe drop shoes on the flat, going very slow. So generally more a midfoot or rear foot gait. So they're not loading up their Achilles on their toes as much. So yeah, on the flat and on a firmer surface, so not on the grass, because it's been shown that harder surfaces load the Achilles a little bit less. 12 mil shoes, so a nice heel toe drop, so the Achilles has to do less work, and nice and slow, because the speed really does influence how much you load up the Achilles. And they say they get about a 2 or a 3 out of 10, and the next morning it's a little bit worse, but not that bad. 2 or 3 out of 10 the next morning getting up out of bed. Okay, so 30-minute slow run. Then this one might be a 20-minute at, say, 85% of their old sort of jogging pace. So say this one, like for 5K, they've done 6 minutes per K. And then this one, they've done sort of at 5 minutes per K, or, I don't know, 450s per K. For 20 minutes only. So a little bit faster, that's the main change. So that speed element, and they pull up sort of a 5 out of 10 right after and the next day. So you want to make sure there's 3 days between those loading bouts at the very minimum, so that you're allowing for recovery of the tendon, and you're not you're not bashing the tendon while it's still recovering, so then it never really has the chance to regenerate and build or get stronger. Because that's kind of what you're doing it when you're loading it up. The tendon suffers a little bit of collagen loss, and then it stimulates the body through a chain of reactions to produce more collagen. But if you keep sort of belting it while it's down and not allowing it to recover, then it's never really going to build that nice sort of shell of good healthy tendon around the area of pathology. So if I was to use the same formula, I would plan out for this particular runner a 2 or 3 week block of training from that. So then you could do, say, if we did like an example of a week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You might go, okay, let's do the light one. So let's do a 45 minutes on the bike. Yep, so that's your light. Then you might go, okay, let's do a moderate session. So let's do your 30-minute slow jog. Okay, and then let's do the heavy one. So let's do 20 minutes at 85% normal pace jog. So then you go, okay, well, I need 3 days. So 1, 2, 3. So you would wait until here before you do it again. So 20 minutes at 85%. Here you would do the bike, or you might do, I don't know, mix it up. So do 60-minute walk down the block with the dog. And then here you just do your 30-minute jog. And then here you might get back on the bike. 45. So there's a week. So you've done medium, heavy, light. Yeah, so you can see how I've loaded it up with 2 heavier days, but made sure after it you've got those light recovery sort of days, and you're giving it enough time to recover between loading bouts. And that's the other thing is, like, with the moderate sort of load ones, so this 30-minute slow, we've made sure that there's at least like the same thing, that there's at least a couple of days in between those ones as well. And remember, the bike or the walking, that could have been done every day, so that you don't have to be as conscientious of allowing for the recovery days with that. All right, so obviously it's a changing process, because as the weeks roll on, so say the runner did this for 3 weeks, or roughly similar to this for 3 weeks, then suddenly what constitutes a moderate session, so this 30-minute jog, that might become a light. So suddenly that might be something they could do every day. That real slow sort of 6-minute per K. And then the moderate, suddenly the moderate might be the 85% kind of run for 20 minutes. And then a heavier kind of run might actually be a similar sort of run, but yeah, say for 30 minutes. So like just change one variable at a time when you're trying to increase the training, and then this will now be enough to allow for recovery if you have those lighter jogs interspersing the heavier sessions. So as you can see, it's a changing process, and you've really got to be honest with yourself, and that's where I really advocate using a diary. So in that diary, I'd be using the diary daily, and I'll just monitor your symptoms in the morning, during exercise, and then after exercise, and then that night. So you're sort of rating a pain response on your Achilles 3 or 4 times a day. and you're doing that every day. And then you're also writing in there what you did in your day-to-day life, so your activities of daily living. So what you do at work, what you do outside of work that might have loaded it up. A nice one is footwear as well, and then you've also put your exercise that you did for that day and what rehab exercises you did, so all your Achilles and calf and gym or home exercises that you're doing to try to recover as well. So you're keeping tabs on it, and you're sort of trying to see any correlations in pain response. If the general trend is it's improving, then you're loading it up very well. If it's not, then you might be overdoing it. You might be overshooting it. But by keeping a diary, it allows you to keep honest with yourself. It allows you sort of to pinpoint things that might have overloaded it as well. So keep a diary as well when you're trying to return to running, and give yourself the time, because like we've sort of been mentioning with these videos, Achilles tendons can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to 12 months to get better. So it's a bit of a slow grind, but if you sort of attack it with some structure and listen to your body better by listening to your pain, then that's how we can better pitch our exercise so it doesn't become frustrating and feel like you're never going to get over it. Because you can. You've just got to align the exercise you choose to do with where your healing's at and where your Achilles is at. All right, that's enough for me today. This has been my longest video, but I think it's one that needed a lot of chat. So I hope you found this worthwhile. All right, thanks.